Hi everyone, in this video we will talk about hooks and the useState hooks. Hooks, if you don't know, are available since the version 16.8 of React.js, and they allows you to create or access React state and life cycles. Because of this new feature, class components are being replaced by functional components. Functional component is what we have in the screen. It's a JavaScript function that accepts props and returns a React element. For this video, we'll create two input fields that will receive first name, last name, and a button that will print the values that we will save in the user state. So let's start. Copy and paste the value. In this case, for the first name field, we have a label, the first name label, and the input with the name first name. Let's duplicate this to create the last name. Let's update the value, last name. Let's create a button, in this case to print the values. So, use state is a hook that can be used to keep track of any data that we need. That could be strings, number, booleans, arrays, objects, and any combination of this. Use state to be used in React.js, first of all, needs to be imported. So let's import this using useState. It comes from the library React. And useState is a function that takes one argument. In this case, that is the initial value or the initial state. So useState, and the initial value will be nothing. So it returns an array with two values, the initial state and the function which can be used to change the state. So using the structuring, we can receive those elements. In this case, let's call it first name and set first name. Remember, first one is the initial state, and the second one is the function which can be used to change the state. So to use this, let's create the function on change that will send the event, and let's update the first name. So this will receive what will be the new value that we want to save. In this case, event print target that value. That is the name that we type in the box. So in the button, print the values. Let's create a new function that will print the received values. First of all, first name. So having this, we can first name. Okay. So having this, we can type, let's clean the console. Let's type John and print the values. We can see John. To do the same with the last name, we need to create, first of all, another user state to keep track of the last name. So let's create it. Last name, set last name, and to use it, let's duplicate the change function, the input section of the last name. Now let's update the method. In this case, it's set last name. So right now we can type John, save the changes, John Smith, clean the console, and print the values. Oh, we need to add as well the last name to the console log. So if we do this, we have John Smith. That's it. Okay, having this, imagine that we have several fields, not just first name and last name. It's not a good practice to use a user state for each field. Another approach in this case would be using just one user state to keep track of all the information that we have in the form. Let's implement this. So let's try to comment the current user states. Let's create a new one. Let's call it form data. Method to update it will be set form data. The initial value will be nothing. Let's create additionally a new method to handle the unchanged event of every input button. This will receive the event. And from here, let's take the value as we have it right now, even that current target, that value. And let's take field name, event, the target, that name. This will take the name of the input field, in this case, first name and last name. From here, let's update the form data using set form data. Using this approach to have information of the previous state, and let's return a new object with the previous values and the new information that we want to add to that object. In this case, will be the field name and its value. How can we use this? So in the on change of every input field, let's call this method and let's pass the event. Let's remove what we have right now. Sorry, this here is E, and the same goes here. Let's remove what we had before. Well, let's pass E. The console, let's print no first name and last name because they don't exist anymore. Right now we have four data. Let's clean the console. Let's save the values. Let's change the values and let's print the values. As you can see, here we have a single object that is being stored using one use state with the name form data and the function to update this information is called set form data, and we have first name and last name. In the same way, you can update any quantity of fields using just one state, but you have to keep in mind, according to the data type of each field, how you will structure this information in the result. So from here with hooks and the useState hook, we can say some of the benefits are they are 100% backwards compatible. Hooks don't contain any breaking changes. So if you are still working on a project that is using class components, you can implement functional components and use state, for example, as a hook, and your code will not break based on that. Hooks improves readability of the code because, as you can see, it's a simple way to store data, encapsulate side effects. It is composable and with a reusable logic. So there are a few rules in this case for using user state. The user state hook or any hook must be almost at the top of the functional component. You shouldn't call useState in loops, condition, or nested functions because you will receive an error. And as well, the hooks or the useState hooks must be used in a React function component. If we try to create another component that is not exactly a component, let me create my component. This will not be a component. React.js, a component written in this way, should be considered a component if you use first letter of the name of the component in the uppercase mode. So if we type this, it is considered as a component. Let's leave it in lowercase. Let's try to implement the use state. So let's import use state from the library React. Let's try to use it. Const data set, oh, sorry, set data use state, and you will see that we have an error. In this case, because it is not being used from a React component. But if we change the name and it is recognized as a component, the error disappears. So from here, we can use this in the app field, my component, what it is. Let me use it. Oh, sorry, my mistake. Let's save it. Let's import it. Import. Ah, by the way, let me export and let me use it in the app. Let's save these changes. Let's type this new again, my component. And you can see that my title that was written here is being adapted. So those are the definitions, how to implement it. A good practice to be used with several fields. Additionally, how to use it in a functional component and what are the benefits of using hooks or the use state hook. Thank you.